What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. I know we're in the midst of a bye week, but I was doing some research yesterday, getting ready to record Locked On Vols with Eric Kane. That'll be posted on his channel on Friday. Also, we did the mid-season review live stream last night. That was a lot of fun, but I was just looking at some numbers and looking at PFF grades, and I saw an article pop up that I had never seen before, and it was an anonymous coach talking about how good he felt like this Tennessee football team is in 2024, and that's even after the loss to Arkansas. And you look at the way this season has played out, and I want you guys to jump into the comment section. How confident are you in this football team right now as we head into the bye week? We've got Kentucky coming up next week, but you look at the first three games, right? You blew teams out. You put up 69 points on Chattanooga, 51 on NC State, 71 on Kent State. And at times it didn't look like we expected, but at times it did. We saw Nico making all the throws. We saw the talent, the ball location. We saw that he could make big-time plays down the field. But then you go on the road, you get an emotional win over Oklahoma. I felt like that was a crucial point in this season. I talked about it all offseason. If you go beat Oklahoma, I said, you're not going to lose. You're not going to be challenged until you go and face Georgia on the road in Athens. But Tennessee slips up coming off the bye week. They lose to Arkansas on the road 19-14. And if you follow those couple of weeks, right, the Oklahoma game, second half, Josh Heupel goes conservative. A lot of red flags for a lot of us fans saying this offense isn't what we thought it was. After the bye week, you lose to Arkansas. The offense looks absolutely terrible. Some people are in the comment section saying, Boogie, this team's going 8-4, maybe 7-5. Some people say this team's not even going to make it to a bowl game. But here we sit after the Alabama game. Tennessee is 6-1. The ESPN FPI has Tennessee at a 67% chance of making the playoffs. You look at the schedule moving ahead. Kentucky, FBI says Vols are almost 90% chance or odds of winning that game. Mississippi State's coming to Neyland Stadium, 92% chance that Tennessee wins that game. You go on the road and play Georgia, you're at 39%. UTEP, 99%. Vanderbilt, 83%. Everything is in front of you. And I feel like this team is taking steps, but how good do you truly believe they are? I'm going to go take a look at an article. And again, this is from back before the Alabama game, but somehow I missed this article, and I feel like it's worth talking about. We're going to get into it. We're going to break it down. But as always, you guys know the deal. Do the YouTube stuff. Smash a thumbs up just below the video. Quick, free, easy. It helps the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Networks. We're not expert here. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media, reporters, journalists. We don't pretend to be any of that stuff, man. What we are here is just like you guys in the comments section, just like you guys in the live chat. We're fans. We come here and we speculate on things we read on VolQuest, things we read on GoVols 247, things that JD Pickell or Josh Pate says. We react like fans. The point of this channel is hanging out at your buddy's house, cracking open a beer, and just talking Tennessee football. That's what we do. If you like it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're in the midst of the bye week, so we'll be back live Monday morning, 9 a.m. with Eric Kane at VolQuest.com. So tune in for that. Schedule will be back to normal next week. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at the article. This is from VolQuest.com. It's a free article, not behind a paywall, so we can take a look at it. The old Grant Ramey special. Anonymous coach to The Athletic. Tennessee has one of the best football teams I've seen in the last 10 years. Not one of the best teams this year, not one of Tennessee's best teams of the last 10 years, one of the best college football teams I have seen in the last 10 years. Again, this is going into the Alabama game. So let's rewind time. What was your mindset? Because I know a lot of people in this fan base were doubting. A lot of people in this fan base were hating. A lot of people in this fan base did not think Tennessee was going to go in there to Neyland Stadium and beat Alabama. But what did they do? They went and they took care of business. We've heard a lot this week. Good teams find a way to win. Tennessee found a way to win against a rivalry in Florida. Yes, it took overtime. Yes, it didn't maybe look as pretty as you wanted or I wanted, but they got the job done. Alabama comes to town. You go beat a rival. How are you feeling about this team? Would you say this is one of the best college football teams of the last 10 years? How would you compare this team just to the Tennessee team in 2022? Let's scroll down and take a look at the article here. It says one anonymous coach isn't giving up on Tennessee football after the Vols have shown their flaws over the last 2 weeks. The coach went as far as telling The Athletic that Tennessee still has one of the best teams in the country and that a national championship is not off the table. Do you believe that? Did you believe that coming off the loss to Arkansas? Did you believe that with the second half struggles against Oklahoma? Says the Athletic quoted multiple anonymous coaches who have faced both number 11 Tennessee and number 7 Alabama ahead of Saturday's renewal of the third Saturday in October rivalry at Neyland Stadium. Says here Tennessee is probably one of the best teams I've seen in the last 10 years. Honestly, this is a team that can win the national championship. They have enough pieces. It goes on to say, I was surprised they lost to Arkansas, but it's hard to go undefeated. It might be the best thing that ever happened to them. Now, for those of you that watch College Game Day, you can go back to when Georgia lost to Alabama. Nick Saban said he picked up the phone and he texted Kirby Smart and he said, one of the best things that ever happened to one of my Alabama national championship teams was us losing early in the season because we learned how to respond. We learned we weren't invincible. And it's easy to sit here and throw that coach speak at the wall and say, hey, let's flush this. Let's move ahead. Let's focus on the schedule remaining. Let's get better. Rat poison. Is that what that was against Arkansas? You know, I felt confident going into that Arkansas game. And the reason I felt confident is because Josh Heupel's pretty dang good coming off of the bye week. Was it the rat poison? Was it all the emotion they poured into that Oklahoma game? They lost to Arkansas. The offense was abysmal. They bounced back. They win against Florida. You see them start to take steps. Now, this offense isn't where they need to be, but you saw them start to take steps. And then I think you saw a little bit more of that against Alabama. I feel like we're close. Was Nico getting banged up, coming back, hitting the deep shot to Dante Thornton? Is that what he needed to get his confidence back? Because I feel like there's been a lack of confidence for Nico, whether it's a lack of confidence in his offensive line. That's something that Coach Jay talked about last night on the live stream. He's got that confidence in his offensive line to step up into the pocket. Does he have that confidence to just let it rip and go make plays? Is that the turning point for this football team? But a lot of people talking about one of the best teams in the last 10 years, a lot of people talking about national championship is still on the table. And I truly believe that. I think this football team can go beat anybody in the country if they show up on the offensive side of the ball and also the defensive side of the ball. But this defense has shown up week in and week out. Scoring defense, 4th in the country. Total defense, 4th in the country. Passing defense, 23rd in the country. But the way they defend the run, they're allowing less than 80 yards per game. That's second in the nation. They give up 2.24 yards per carry. That's PlayStation numbers, guys. Those are ridiculous numbers. 4th in the country in tackles for loss. Now they're only averaging 2.14 sacks per game. That's tied for 55th in the country. When I was recording with Eric for the Locked On Vols show on Friday, spoiler alert, this is something I talk about there. Am I worried about only being tied for 55th in the country in sacks per game? Not a bit. Not at all. Because look at the schedule. Look at the quarterbacks we played. Hawkins coming in at Oklahoma. Green at Arkansas. When Lagway took over at Florida. Milroe at Alabama. Milroe, I think, is the best running quarterback in the country. You got a lot of mobile quarterbacks that Tennessee has played so far in the 2024 season. I think they did a pretty good job keeping them bottled up. You look at Milroe, 14 carries, 11 yards against Tennessee. Mertz had 5 carries for 11 yards. Lagway, 5 carries for 1 yard. Taylon Green, 9 carries for -5 yards. Hawkins came in for Oklahoma, felt like, man, the backup quarterback, here he comes, going to run all over us, and it felt like he did run all over the field. He ended the day with 12 carries for 22 yards. You got a different game plan on defense, and again, it's something you hear all the time. Got a mobile quarterback, got to stay in your pass rushing lanes, keep them bottled up. That's a different type of game plan versus going out against a quarterback that may not be mobile, and you can really pin your ears back and get after him. But the bottom line is this defense is elite. This defense is national championship caliber. I think they can go shut down any offense in the country. The question for me is if Tennessee is going to go beat Georgia, if they are going to go win a national championship, this offense has to get it figured out, right? They've got to get it figured out. Defensively, we said before the season, best defensive line in the country. Right now, over halfway through this thing, I'm saying best defensive line in the country. The secondary's been really good. The linebackers have been good. We went more in-depth to that last night. If you missed the live stream, go back and give it a watch. But offensively, you've got to get things figured out. You got to get clicking. Scoring offense, 15th in the country. Total offense, 9th in the country. Rushing offense, Dylan Sampson. What a dude. You're 7th in the country in rushing offense, but you're leading the SEC. Dylan Sampson, 144 carries, 838 yards, 17 touchdowns. He already at this point has more carries than Jalen Wright had the entire last season. So one thing is, can Dylan Sampson stay healthy? Can he stay fresh? Or do we need to see a little bit more Deshaun Bishop, who I think's also been really good? The passing game is what has to be better. And it's not just Nico. It's not the wide receivers. It's not the offensive line. It's everything. And that includes play calling. And I think that's what we're seeing start to improve. You're starting to see them try to set Nico up to make the throws that he's better at making. He's better when he's on the run. Let's set Nico up for success, because right now, passing offense, 232 yards a game, 69th in the country. That has to be way better, particularly when you go look at the beginning of the year and the numbers that they put up through the air against Chattanooga and Kent State. Those numbers are skewed when you look at Tennessee putting up 232 yards through the air. That's been way lower against the SEC. Wide receivers have to be better. Squirrel White has drops. Chris Brazil has drops. Brew McCoy has drops. Guys are open. Nico's got to put the ball on them. Bail each other out. Help each other out. But if this offense starts to click, then watch out, because this is a national championship contender. I truly believe that. You've got a bye week. Then you've got Kentucky coming to town. It's going to be a night game. It's going to be dark mode. Gerald Mincy has given us all the bulletin board material we need. And by the way, we're Kentucky's daddy. Then you got Mississippi State. And then things get real and you go on the road to play Georgia. How do you feel about this article, about that comment? One of the best college football teams of the last 10 years? If that's so, can the offense put it together and can they go win a national championship? I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. As always, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. And if you haven't seen it yet, we've got brand new merchandise. We've got these State Pride 2.0 shirts, Talkin VAWLS Network. We've also got God Bless and Go Vols, plus all the old favorites are there. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You want to get ready for a rivalry game? We got a shirt that says Kentucky's Daddy. We've got shirts that say beat Bama, beat Georgia, beat Florida, Gator, Hater, Buck, Fama, FUGA. Whatever you want, it is there at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. I'm also going to put that link in the description below, as well as a link that you can hit to join the channel and support what we do for the fans, by the fans. It is also fan funded. This show does not exist without your support. If you want to support, if you like the content, the live streams, the videos, whatever it is you like about this channel, think about hitting the join button or hitting that link in the description. You can donate as little as $1 a month, or you can give a little bit more. We are grateful for the support, because it does not happen without you guys. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.